Welcome back, heroes and heretics, to the Grimdank Garage. We had to change the name because Grimdark was taken. Also, you'll notice that we're in my basement for this one because there's an ice storm outside and my garage is frozen over. We got another Grimdark Future Battle report for you today. 750 points of my current Queens of the Table, the Daughters of Arizonia, my battle sisters, versus the channel debut of my Dark Elf Raiders, the Acid Rangers. The table's made of trash. Let's hit the lists! Heading off the Acid Rangers is Malicia, the Mistress of Knives. She's got a witch's stat line, but she's been upgraded with a psychic and has a pair of shell swords. Here's my first batch of witches. Baseline witches, they've each got CCWs with the double attacks and barred pistols with poison. They've got fast and dodge, which means that they move 9 inches and get a +2 to defense and melee. Here's a second batch of witches. Also baseline, we got those double CCWs and the barred pistols with poison. Here's my Harpy squad, 5 winged warriors with ambush, fast, and flying. They've got their baseline weapons of barbed carbines with poison and single CCWs. My transport unit's a light skimmer with transport of 11 and impact of 6. It's also got a laser lance with deadly of 3, and it's very fast. Returning to the table is my champion sister, Celine the Penitent. This time she's been upgraded to the Battle Priestess with war hymns to get that AP1 in melee. She's got a heavy chainsaw sword and a jetpack made out of wings. Here's a unit of Battle Sisters upgraded with a Sacred Banner, heavy machine gun, a storm rifle, and the CCW to give me double attacks. Bring in the Purge is my unit of Support Sisters with 3 heavy flamethrowers and 2 heavy machine guns. Speaking of Bring the Purge, here's Hanabi, my Infernal APC, upgraded with a flamethrower, a heavy flamethrower, and a twin heavy flamethrower because you just can't get hot enough. Let's roll off for the mission. That means 5 objective markers. Next, let's roll off to determine who gets to be attacker. Oop, that's a tie. Rolling off again. Oop, put that back on the screen a little bit. There you go. Alright, looks like Dark Elves going first. Today's game's going to be on the Hallowed Steppe, a lovely 3x3 tabletop. Our first objective marker, Tome Babies in the Woods, followed by Censer Baby in the Temple. Around the corner, we've got Sword Baby in the Plaza, Cage Baby in the Detached Nightmare Condo, and our 5th and final objective marker, Grenade Baby, is over beyond the Baked Bean Refinery here in the Barbie Dream House. The Acid Rangers are gonna start deployment by slamming down that light skimmer. We're gonna go ahead and deploy both units of witches and Malicia inside, leaving just the Harpy squad deployed into ambush. The Daughters of Arizonia start deployment with Hanabi the Infernal APC within 12 inches of the corner, tucking her in between those ramps up to the garden to try to get her a little bit of cover. Inside Hanabi, we're also going to deploy the unit of Support Sisters. Just around that next ramp, 12 inches from the corner, we're going to put down the Battle Sisters squad so they can zoop up to that first objective marker. And finally, I'm going to deploy my Battle Priestess Celine the Penitent into ambush. Acid Rangers start off turn 1 by zooping that light skimmer up, and over to the Nightmare Barbie Dream House. It's very fast, so it's got a 12-inch move and can still shoot. Laser Lance has a 30-inch range. Looks like we're in range. Lining up the shot. Laser Lance hits on a 3-up. That's a hit. AP1 means this is a 3-up save. Ooh, that goes through. Deadly 3 means 3 wounds on Hanabi. Hanabi is down to 3 wounds out of 6. Another hit like that, and she's toast. First move for the Daughters of Arizonia is gonna be to advance Hanabi out of the way, her full 18 inches, in order to get her some cover. Acid Rangers get to move again. This time they're gonna deploy those witches and Malicia, Queen of Knives, out from the light skimmer. 6 inches away, they got a pretty good view. We're also gonna hold off on deploying that other batch of witches, so that we can get the light skimmer into better position before deploying them. That's the end of round 1 for the Acid Rangers. Daughters of Arizonia gonna run those Battle Sisters up towards the temple to take Censor Baby next turn. We're going to want to get Hanabi into a better position before we deploy those support sisters, so that means that's the end of round 1. Both Acid Rangers and the Daughters of Arizonia want to deploy from ambush this round, so we're going to roll off to see who gets to do that first. Battle Sisters get to deploy first. We're going to go ahead and slam down Celine, the Battle Priestess, down behind the Barbie Nightmare Dream House. Making sure we're over 9 inches away from Malicia, although that's probably who we're going to charge on almost immediately. That Harpy Squad's going to come down 9 inches from the Battle Sisters and 9 inches from the Battle Priestess to try to drive a wedge between them. The Acid Rangers get the first move in round 2, and we're going to take advantage of that by zooping down that light skimmer around beside the temple so that we can deposit off that next batch of witches. Also take some cover. I would have struck down your mistress, but the 5 of you will do. Celine charges on the Harpy Squad. Celine the Penitent gets 4 attacks with that heavy chainsword, each with AP 2. Her Celestial Infantry makes these 4 threes. Well, that's 3 threes. Okay, gotta roll the 4th. That's a 4th 3, alright. Got an AP of 2, so these are 6s to defend. Woo, actually made 1. 3 wounds means only 2 harpies remain. Gonna roll 2 4s. Roll 1 off the screen. Alright, 2 4s. Celine's also got a 4-up defense. 1 wound goes through. She goes down to 2 wounds from 3. Let's roll for morale. Celine definitely won that melee phase, so Harpy's got to roll a 4-up. Yikes! That misses. They're pinned, but since they're down to less than half of their unit size, they're routed. Celine takes them fully off the table. First blood goes to the Daughters of Arizonia. Woo! Acid Ranger's gonna pop out that next batch of witches as close to the objective marker as we can manage, but still under some cover. Battle Sister Squad's gonna finish taking that objective on Censor Baby. Malicia casts Pain on Battle Priestess Celine. She's got a Psychic 1, so she's just gotta roll a 4 to hit. Alright, we actually made it. That's a hit. Celine's gotta roll 4 5s to save. Yikes, she saves 2, but those other 2 go through to finish her off. Slay the Warlord goes to the Acid Rangers. That group of witches is gonna finish off their move by shuffling down to the objective marker and holding on to Grenade Baby. Hanabi's machine spirit yearns to purge the Xenos filth, so she rolls up her 9-inch move. She doesn't have a clear shot on the light skimmer, but she does have one on the batch of witches. I've got the witches in my sights. Those witches are in range for Devout, so these twin heavy flamethrowers are going to hit for 12 threes. Woo! 10 of them go through. AP of 1 mean that these are 6s to save. Okay, that one's cocked. Looks like they only saved 2 of them. Whew! 8 wounds is definitely enough to completely wipe that batch of witches off the table. Oh, but we're not done. Now we get to deploy the support sisters, as long as they're within 6 inches of Hanabi and 12 inches of that light skimmer, so that they can shoot around that temple's corner. Now that skimmer's in range for Devout off the support sisters, so this is 18 threes heavy flamethrowers. 10 hit, I miss 8, but I've got 2 6s to reroll thanks to the support sisters' relentless ability. And they both go through for 12 hits total. Heavy flamethrowers have an AP of 1, so this is a 3-up save, but we gotta make 12 of them. Youch, we save 5, but take 7 wounds, which is definitely enough to take that light skimmer off the table. Support sisters still have 6 shots with those heavy machine guns. They've got a range of 30 inches, and it looks like those witches are just within range. Hitting 3 out of 6 on a 4-up is pretty good. We don't have Relentless on any of those, but we do have AP of 1, which means this is a 6-up save for those witches. Woo, we actually made 1, but 2 go through, so we lose 2 witches. Into the second round, Arizonia controlled 2 objective markers. Acid Rangers control 1. Malicia and her witches are going to cast Pain again on that unit of Battle Sisters controlling the objective marker in the temple. Gotta roll a 4-up to hit. And that hits. Gotta make 4 fives. And we save 1, but 3 wounds still go through, taking 3 of those sisters off the board. Malicia and her witch guard are going to finish up their turn by charging into those battle sisters that are holding onto the objective. First up, those witches have 6 attacks with those CCWs, looking for 4s. And we make 3 of them, so hey, that's pretty good. 4-up save.
Defense.
We only make 1, so that's 2 more sisters off the table. So I forgot to roll for poison, but it doesn't matter because they're all dead anyway. The Acid Rangers get a consolidation move so that we are all fully on that objective marker while also taking cover from the inevitable rage of fire coming from those support sisters. Through the temple, the support sisters are not quite in charge range of those elves, and they are tucked away out of sight, so we're going to have to get only as close as we can get to try to contest the objective in round 4. To finish off round 3, Hanabi's going to back up into the detached Barbie Nightmare condo so that she can hold down Cage Baby. That's the end of round 3. The Daughters of Arizonia and the Acid Rangers are tied up 2-2. Malicia leads off with Pain, looking for a 4-up. That hits. Gotta make 4 fives. We save 3 of them, so 1 goes down. Next, Malicia and her witches are gonna charge in on those support sisters. We get 6 4s with those CCWs. Oh, 1 went behind a tree. And it's cocked. Let's re-roll that. None of our poison went off, and there's no AP, so that means that's 2 4-ups. 1 gets saved. Malicia gets 4 4-ups with those shell swords. And 3 go through. There's no AP, but they have deadly 3s, so these are 3 4s. And we don't make a single one of them. That's the rest of the support sisters off the board. With a scream of fury, Hanabi rolls out from covering her objective marker to try to grab a spot on the board where she can punish those elves whenever they come out of their hole. It's still 2-2, going to a tiebreaker round. The elves have to make a break for it one way or the other. And if they can get onto the sword baby, they can at least take the battle sisters' number of objectives down to 1. First, we're going to start with casting Pain on Hanabi. This is a 4-up. Woo! She makes it with a 6.
4 3s.
Close, but not quite good enough. The 4 elves move down onto the objective marker and hope that they can weather Hanabi's inevitable wave of flame. Speaking of wave of flame, Hanabi moves her 9 inches and gets those witches in her sights. Those witches are definitely within devout range, so this flamethrower hits on 6 3s. This is for my fallen sisters! 4 of them go through. No AP on a flamethrower, so this is a 5-up save. But they only save 1, so that's 3 wounds, and the rest of the witches are off the table. All that's left is Malicia versus Hanabi. With her righteous fury building, Hanabi unleashes the twin heavy flamethrower cannon on Malicia. Looking for 3s. 6 hits. That's an AP of 1, so that's a 6-up save. And Malicia only saves 1, so that's 5 wounds go through, definitely enough to turn her into a toasted marshmallow. Slay the Warlord, finally at the most climactic final moment. Table victory for the Daughters of Arizonia.
Alright, another great game of Grim Dark Future. Man, that was a really close one too. I've never seen so many psychic powers go off from one model. But the man of the match, I can't even tell if it was Hanabi who cleared off the rest of the Dark Elves, or if it was Celine the Penitent who just whacked out a whole squad of winged warriors round 2. It was amazing. Be sure to comment what you think below. Love to hear your thoughts, and always, you're always welcome here at the Grimdank Garage.